Hello, Broncos Country, and welcome to another episode of the Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue podcast here on the Orange and Blue Network. Tonight, we're going to talk Bo Nix because something's off. Something didn't look right on Saturday, and even less looked right today in training camp. Something is off with our beloved Bo, and we need to figure out what in the world that is. He's got to figure it out. He's got to fix it. He's going to. I have all the faith in the world, but we're going to talk all about it. This episode is titled, What's Eating Bo Nix? Let's freaking go.
Smooth, the pins to chew, breaking down plays about to debut. Never pride in every view, nothing rhymes with orange and blue. Bright lights of my heart in our view. Nothing rhymes with orange and blue. Nothing rhymes with orange and blue. Nothing rhymes with orange and blue. From draft picks to game reviews, celebrating wins, analyzing the clues. Nothing rhymes with orange and blue. Nothing rhymes with orange and blue. No orange and blue.
Nothing rhymes with Orange and Blue podcast.
Welcome, Broncos Country, and how you doing, Orange and Blue crew? Welcome to another edition, the August 12th, 2025 edition of the Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue podcast. I am your host, Johnny Baki, the Mile High Viking, and with me, as always, my cousin, my childhood best friend, and my co-host, Jay, the Denver Dream, or also known as Dreamweaver, Weaver. What's up, cuz? How was your week?
It's pretty good. Dissecting the first, I guess, post-game type of week that we've had for the Broncos, looking in the rearview mirror for the first preseason game. And it's, at least in Broncos country, National K. Adams Day. So happy National K. Adams Day to all that celebrate.
K. Adams Day. Well, we know Sean Payton celebrates K. Adams Day.
Absolutely. Smitten.
Oh, he's in love. I wonder if his wife, sees Kay Adams on Up and Adams or something like that at their house and just starts to seethe.
I mean, dude, she's pretty glorious. She's no Katie Wingy, I'll say that. I'm still there are levels to this.
I was literally about to say she's no Katie Wingy to Jay Weaver, is she?
Yeah, I mean, she probably can't talk that much Jokic stuff, and to me, Katie's always going to be up there then. But, neither here nor there. Still Kay Adams. What a day. There's a lot of coverage about it today as well. So I'm sure we'll talk about it.
Oh, sure. You can talk about it to your heart's content, Jay. But anyway, guys, thank you for joining us for another episode of the Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue podcast. We are the Orange and Blue Network. So if this is the first time you're here or you haven't done so already, please like, subscribe, share, comment, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. Check out the audio version of our podcast everywhere you find your favorites, be it Apple, Google, Spotify, iHeartRadio. We're on all of them. And make sure when you subscribe, because that's the big deal, make sure you go, wherever you're watching, take just a moment. Jump on over and subscribe on YouTube. It takes you 1 second. It costs you nothing. And ding that little notification bell so that you don't miss any of our awesome content. And why am I trying to get you to subscribe? Well, obviously, we want the subscribers. But what we're doing right now, we are just north of 370 subscribers right now on YouTube. We used to have a lot more when we were in some other places. We started over from scratch, and we're trying to get back to where we were once before. So, 370, we're trying to get to 539. Why 539? That's a weird number because that was Peyton Manning's all-time touchdown record. So when we reach 539 subscribers, this network is giving away a free, authentic orange Bo Nix jersey to someone on our subscribers list. So it takes you just a couple of seconds, costs you nothing, and then you go share it and tell your Broncos, family and friends. They subscribe, and you guys are entered into a chance to win that jersey. I don't see a downside, so go do it. And also, I gotta say, make sure you ring that little notification bell, because you don't want to be in the dark when any of our awesome content hits the waves. And of course, some of that content is including Orange and Blue Blitz on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 11 a.m. Broncos Bros on Monday. We got Broncos Talk on Wednesday, this show on Tuesday, and then you got Viva los Broncos for the Spanish speakers out there. You got the breaking news podcast called Fresh Squeeze. You got the Get Bucked Game Day show, and you got the Buck Your Feelings post-game show. And I'm super excited to announce that tomorrow afternoon, the Mile High Sports Symposium, formerly of MHRT Network and also formerly known as Orange and Brew podcast, will make their debut on the Orange and Blue Network.
Oh, my God.
With Dr. Nick Manning and JT. Doc and JT. It's going to be a blast. You guys don't want to miss it. They talk. See, that's the thing, too. So it sets them apart on our network. They are all Denver sports, not just Broncos. So make sure that you tune in for that, too, guys. I'm just telling you, all right? Last bit of housekeeping to get out of the way. Make sure that you show some love to yourself by going on over, clicking the link in the bio below, w.gg, and getting yourself some Dubby Jitterless Energy Blend. Dubby is the sponsor of tonight's show, and Dubby is amazing stuff. It comes in a ton of absolutely delicious flavors. Look at this one, Jay. S'mores that you mix with milk.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
You got a ton of delicious flavors, and Dubby has the caffeine you need to kick you in the butt and get your day going and keep going without getting the jitters or the crash later. 2 cups of coffee worth of caffeine in one Dubby drink.
Yep.
And why don't you get the jitters or the crash later? It's simple. Dubby has no sugar in it. It also has no calories. It has no maltodextrin or fillers or artificial colors. Dubby is nothing but amino acids, B vitamins, nootropics that help keep you sharp throughout your day, and the caffeine that's in Dubby is derived directly from the coffee fruit. So it's as natural as it can be. It's actually pretty healthy for you, in terms of an energy drink, and it really does work. Jay and I swear by it. I'll be honest with you. I slept 2 hours last night. The only reason I'm awake on the show right now is because I had some Dubby before we went live. So, guys, I'm telling you, jump on over, get yourself some Dubby. You will thank me later. You're going to thank me even more because I'm going to give you a little deal. Make sure you punch in code NRWOB10. NRWOB10 at checkout will get you 10% off your Dubby order. So, guys, go get yourself the dub like the Denver Broncos did this last Saturday and like they're going to do again this Saturday against the Arizona Cardinals. All right. So, that does it for housekeeping. So, Jay, is there anything in the Broncos or Denver sports world that is just grinding your gears right now?
Well, before we get into Kay Adams Day, which I'm sure we will talk a lot about and whatnot, and just things that have transpired the last couple days, I do want to just make a quick random note that sports, at least for Colorado and Denver, are going to be hot and heavy for Christmas. It was announced that the Nuggets are going to play against Minnesota for the nightcap of Christmas Day games in the NBA. And then obviously we already know we have the Kansas City, which I think is like at a 7 o'clock. Like that's the start time, I want to say. 7 o'clock Central, 6 o'clock Mountain. Like it's an earlier than normal night game because of the holiday. But it's going to be a jam-packed Christmas Day full of 2 amazing games. So,
and there is a very, very better than average, like way better than average chance that now, thanks to my wife, I'm going to be at that game.
Ooh. Well, there you go.
So we're working on something right now, something. So I don't know if you want to meet up there, Jay. Kansas City
Christmas Day games.
Isn't that far?
Yeah. Yeah.
No,
Christmas
I know.
Day's hard. Christmas Day's hard to be a dedicated sports fan because, like, I want to sit down and watch both games, but, like, that's the entirety of the holiday.
Well,
So,
I think here's what the plan is that this year for Christmas, because like last few years we've spent it with the kids at home.
sure.
Because we like to do that. And then
As you should for Christmas.
This last year we spent Christmas with my folks in Colorado.
Oh, yeah.
It was wonderful. We loved it.
It's still home.
It was last year. Sorry, it was last year, the year before, that we spent in Colorado with my folks. We spent last year here at home. And then we're talking about, you know what? We have never traveled, really, like done a Christmas vacation. And so, granted, if I had to pick a place to go on vacation, it would not be Kansas City. I was in Missouri long enough that I spent enough time in that city, and I can't stand that city. But
swing and a miss on that guy.
It is a Broncos game on Christmas Day. So my wife says to me, "Hey, would you want to maybe go to a Broncos game as your Christmas gift?" And I'm like, "You mean the Christmas game against the Chiefs?" And she said, "Duh." And so I was like, "Well, what about the kids?" And she's like, "Well, we'll take their uncle with us, and they can hang out at the Great Wolf Lodge while we, swimming and having fun while we go to the game." And I'm like, "Done."
Yep.
So that's what we're talking about doing for Christmas this year.
Dude, that would be awesome. And it'll be a fun experience for you to see Arrowhead as someone that, Arrowhead is far closer to Denver, or, far closer than Denver for me. So I've been to quite a bit of Chief games. It's an experience. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm going to be all Mile High Vikinged out, so I'm probably going to piss some people off.
There you go. Merry Christmas to all. I can't wait. If we can beat the Chiefs and the Timberwolves, which are arguably like the two biggest rivals right now for like the two main sports, at least of my life.
I would argue that OKC is up there now with the Wolves.
Yeah, true. We still haven't beaten the bugaboo that is, the Timberwolves, though. So we'll see. It'll be an interesting, that's pretty much the beginning of the NBA season.
Absolutely. On paper, if there is any team that can knock off Ant-Man and the Timberwolves, it is this current Nuggets team.
Yeah.
Like, this Nuggets team is going to be a sight to see. So
yeah, it is going to be. Oh man, I can't wait to see Bruce Bowen back in the fold.
Bruce Brown.
The Brown brothers are going to be rocking. Can't wait to see both of them popping off together like it used to be.
Yeah, absolutely. I am just as excited to see Jonas Valanciunas on this team.
Yeah, big Val.
Nikola Jokic.
Apparently, he's been doing extremely well in Euro basketball. There's Euro basketball being played right now, which looks, yeah.
Yeah, and then and then just some of the other additions they made. I mean, Tim Hardaway Jr. on the bench. That is a huge get. Cam Jordan, instead of MPJ. I am so down with that. It's going to be a scary team to witness, and I cannot wait to see what's his name, our rookie tore his Achilles, Deron Holmes. I cannot wait to see Deron Holmes finally take the court in a Nuggets uniform. So, we got to get some chat because we got some chat going on right now. Of course, this network is powered by Broncos World Order. I am an admin of the Broncos World Order over on Facebook. So make sure, if you haven't already, you come send the request to join the biggest fan group on Facebook for the Denver Broncos, the Broncos World Order. When you scroll down or up our timeline, you would see or find that we've got almost everything in the whole world Denver Broncos. It is an amazing group to be a part of. We, of course, big right here. We haven't seen him in a while, but it's so good to see him. Big E, Bronco. How's everybody doing tonight? And this is Big E. So the Big E, not the original Big E. But
the head honcho of the E's. Biggest of them big.
Awesome. The big ones. Fanatic Dak in the house, dropping in right quick to say, what's up, Broncos, bro? That's Fanatic Dak, one half of the hosts of the Broncos Bro podcast on Monday nights here on Orange and Blue Network. We got Shy Vargas in the house, another member of OBN. He is our game day hype man, the host of the Get Shiped segment of the Get Bucked Game Day show. He says, hey guys, what's up, Shy? It's good to see you. Tiana Acosta, who is rapidly becoming a known name in our chat. Says, love the Broncos, orange and blue hearts. Aw, thank you.
Appreciate it.
We got Chase on X saying hi and hell yeah. Love the enthusiasm. It's great. Victory lap, another. Yeah, Chase. Just Chase. We got Victory Lap, another long-time resident fan in the group, in the chat saying, yo! A new name on YouTube, M. Todd Rosen, says, grew up in Dallas and was a fan of them for years. My grandfather was till he passed, and sister is a Broncos fan. Okay, all right, well, Broncos fan, Dallas fan, it doesn't matter. Welcome to the Orange and Blue crew. Here's to you.
Welcome all fans of all different, teams. Equal opportunity around these parts.
Absolutely. Victory Lap coming in with Lakers.
And right when I get going, that's where I'll stop you right there, Victory Lap. Inexcusable.
Yeah. He says, heading to the casino. Cha-ching.
Ooh, jealous. Jealous on that.
Casino, Jay, man, I'm that warrants
hip happening good time there.
Yeah, man, I haven't been to the casino yet this year. I need to go. We'll be rooting for Denver this year, drafting Harvey, Nix, Engram in fantasy a lot.
Ooh. See, now, I'm all about the Harvey, but I believe he is being overdrafted, in my opinion, from what I have seen. He's a great, keeper for next year if you have keepers in a league. But, we've kind of talked about this. He's going to be dynamic as heck. He's going to have big plays, but, I don't know how much JK will eat into the, opportunity that Harvey might, not see, at least in the first year. So fantasy-wise.
There is a little bit of concern that we expressed post-game on Saturday about how RJ was not being patient the way we've been seeing him patient in practice. And he kept trying to pull the college BS of trying to cut around the corner, and it wasn't working for him.
Sure.
He had that, he did have that one super, moment where it worked and he accelerated. And sometimes, rarely, that will work in the NFL. But man, the truth is, if you try to run that, that around the corner, around the edge thing the way he was, that college ball style, in the NFL, you're going to get lit up almost every time. And he really needs to work on that. So I think he'll be fine. I think he'll get it. He's just got to remember, you're not at UCF anymore, boy.
No, everyone's fast in the NFL.
Yeah, everyone's fast. The worst team you'll face in the NFL is better than the worst team in the NFL is better than the best team you ever faced in college.
By far.
It's
interesting.
You're not going to be able to pull that stuff and get away with it, not in the NFL. And that'll just lead to you getting injured. So.
I think he'll turn it around. Again, it's just tendencies in the very first game. You get jitters. You want to make a big impression. Totally understandable. Yeah. But it's nice that he has the potential to do it.
Absolutely, and I think he'll be fine. I mean, when he did make that one cut around the corner that did work, his acceleration was absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah, he's gonna be fine.
Yeah, when you watch him go from slow to fast, the way at the burst he had, it was phenomenal. I was salivating, but at the same time, like I said, that particular play 9 times out of 10 isn't going to work. So you got to wait for your moment. It's an outside zone run scheme now. That's what they're imparting, and I want to point out that that's probably a big reason that they had the offense had some struggles. Is they are learning a new system that wasn't in place last year.
Yeah, true.
They're putting in this outside zone scheme, but the thing about the outside zone scheme, it doesn't mean you have to go outside every time.
Sure, you do the cutback, but cutback's really hard to get.
The hole, and if a hole becomes available, you cut into the hole. That's how the scheme works, and it felt like RJ kept kind of ignoring holes that were opening to get to the outside. He was just tunnel visioned on the outside.
True. So just, hey, preseason game number 1, just out of the gates, it's just one of those things where he's going to be fine. He'll temper it down. But, like how we started this is I would just temper expectations from a fantasy perspective as far as consistency. Like, he wouldn't be my first running back off the board. Let's just say that.
Not, no. Sorry. I can't wait for our draft, Jay. It's going to be fun. I fully expect to get the number 1 overall pick again. Okay.
See, I got some sleepers. I got some wild cards to just, round 7, going with a complete unknown. Let's go. Yeah, you just never know.
Jay's going to draft Caleb Lohner as his tight end.
Ooh. Hey, in a dynasty league, I mean, I guess I haven't seen if my dynasty league has him picked up, but wouldn't be a horrible flyer. You never know. He could be a top 5 tight end someday. Never know.
We got Big E Bronco back in saying it was a typo about the big E. I know, but I knew that. I totally did, but it was fun to play with. It's like being a 13-year-old and discovering your junk for the first time. It was fun to play with. Let's see. We got D-Rock popping in saying, yes, Lakers! No.
You made a huge mistake, Luca. A huge mistake. Unforgivable.
We got Shy Vargas. I'm gonna hold on to Shy Vargas' next comment for a little later because it's our main topic for the day. Victory Lap, LA traffic is crazy, and he says that Victory Lap says we are keeping him sane. We appreciate that.
Absolutely.
So it's nice that as an insane person, I can keep someone else sane.
Yep.
But anyway, that pretty much does it for the comments for now. Keep them coming, guys, because we got a lot of people watching right now. And again, I'm going to say it again. If you haven't already, or this is your first time, like, subscribe, share, and comment on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. All right? Make sure you subscribe on YouTube. Go subscribe on YouTube. If you're watching this on X or on Facebook, go subscribe on YouTube, because if you do, when we reach 539 subscribers, you will be entered into the drawing to win an authentic orange Bo Nix jersey. No downside, I promise you. So make sure you do it. All right, back to it. All right, so let's. I know that recently we've kind of on our show here we've kind of done segments or other things a little earlier, and then we've kind of held on to our main topic until later. But tonight, I think it's prudent that we just get to the meat and potatoes of our discussion tonight, and that is our beloved quarterback Bo Chapman Nix. The title of the show is what I took this from I took the title from a wonderful Johnny Depp movie from the 90s. What's Eating Bo Nix? By the way, if you've never seen it, the movie's What's Eating Gilbert Grape, and it's fantastic.
It is heartbreaking.
So, Jay, kind of give me, from your perspective, I'm going to let you kick this one off, a rundown of what you saw in the struggles of Bo Nix, at least in the Saturday game, and I will give a rundown of what happened today in Kent.
Okay. I don't know. So, I did not get to watch the game live, as you know, as I was not on any shows or anything like that.
You were out at Lake Okoboji.
Yep. It was an interesting rewatch because I don't know, in the same sense as watching a replay, I guess, of a regular season game when you already know kind of the highlights to look for. It was a little different than seeing it live, I'm sure. But he seemed like he was very uncomfortable and very happy feet. There was a lot of pressure on him. He just didn't seem like he was comfortable with what his eyes were telling him. Holding on to the ball maybe a little bit too long. Just looked a little delayed, a little timid, if you will. And I guess that is very similar to what at least has been reported from all the people that report on, training camp and everything that's been going on from a practice standpoint. So it seems like that's right in line.
Unfortunately, that's where we have to get our news, because we can't watch it.
Correct. But it seems like it was in line. So there was nothing in the game that deterred me. Nothing in the game that wowed me. It was just very blah.
Right.
I don't like the safety thing. Whatever. At the end of the day, he's trying to get rid of the ball. He's just trying to make the best play he can. And at that time, it's throw it away.
It is a spatial awareness issue, and that's something that's very important, is to know your surroundings. Coming from a soldier, know your surroundings, head on a swivel, dude. But at the same time,
he had so much pressure on him.
I said this on Saturday in the post game on Buck Your Feelings, which we missed you, buddy. We did, but we held it down, me and Rob. It was good. But I said this, if you really run it back and you look, it's not like he ran like 10 yards into the end zone, then threw it away.
Right. Dan Orlovsky did?
Yeah. No, a part of his foot crossed the line. Yeah, a part of it. Not even his whole foot crossed the line when he threw that ball. If he had just had the wherewithal and the spatial awareness to know how close he was to that goal line when he tried to lob it out of bounds, he might like 6 inches, 8 inches forward, and it wouldn't have been a safety. So it's not egregious. It's obviously not acceptable, but I wouldn't say it was an egregious mistake.
But it was more of the same behavior of you're kind of shook. It kind of like when quarterbacks get way too much pressure really early on in their career, they start to develop the seeing ghosts thing, where like you have an open pocket, you don't have any pressure, but you mentally just feel like there's pressure. There's nothing that you can do to calm yourself. Just calm down. He just looked sped up, looked very just, his feet were on fire. So it's best to obviously get those jitters out now. Let's see how he goes, this Saturday night versus the Cardinals. I think it'll be a different thing. But
are you serious right now, bro?
Ain't no thing. But what do you think from practice? What's your perspective then from a practice standpoint of what we've heard like today? There was quite a bit today, and obviously the last couple days.
So, it's camp. It's preseason. Everybody calm the F down. But as Shai Vargas, I'm bringing it up now because I said I was holding on to it. But Shai Vargas said Bo Nix was not looking good. He didn't look great on Saturday, and in practice today, he didn't look great again. And I'm going to kind of give a rundown. Obviously, I wasn't there, so I only have the perspective of some writing and a reporting from camp. In that, he couldn't seem to complete a pass in 11-on-11s.
Yeah.
He was errant throws and sailing it, and that's not what we've come to, not what we after last season have come to expect of him. But he lost it. He threw a few over. The defense was doing what the defense does, and they were harassing the ever living crap out of him.
Well, and that's the popular point here that's been floating around of like, well, okay, wouldn't almost every quarterback in the NFL have similar like happy feet if they were going against the pressures of our defense, our number one defense that just broke a franchise record? Just broke a franchise record for sacks in a season for pressures, like for that type of defense. So I don't blame him.
Benito almost had a hat trick of sacks.
Yeah.
In Saturday's game, they are putting a lot of pressure. But beyond that, he did. He just looked off. Now they did say that he had some good throws over the middle, a few times in the hurry up drills, which is when we saw him shine last season, right? Is when we started having to hurry up and all that no huddle kind of stuff. He was killing it. So it's still there, and so that leads me to the point that I was making to you, Jay, before we went live, and I'd love to talk about it. Like I said, the title is "What's Eating Bo Nix." I don't think we need to start hitting the panic button. We don't need to call the president, start get the nuclear launch keys. We're not there yet, but there is a concern, and it is a valid concern. And what I believe what's eating Bo Nix is from a psychological perspective. It's the same thing that, in my opinion, happened to Audric Estime last season and has now carried over into this season for Audric Estime. Bo Nix is too much in his own head now. Last season I feel like and like Sean Payton talked about this earlier during camp and everything. The difference between Bo last year and Bo this year is last year Bo was doing things because he was told to. He was learning the system and executing the plays because that's the one he was told to do. Now and then this year, as Sean Payton put it, he's now delving into it to understand why are we doing this.
Sure.
A big part of of that being the reality is that now Bo's overthinking it. Last season, a lot of it, I feel like a lot of what he did, those escapes those escapes he had in the pocket, those don't just happen. That's instinct. You know what I mean? He felt it. And I feel like a lot of his throws were the same way last season, where, he felt it, he saw it, he felt it, and he knew it was right. But I think now he's taking too much time and thinking too hard about it. He's not going by what he just feels to be the right choice. He's just kind of like, I want it. So what it really comes down to, dude's got to get out of his own head. And I said this to you, Jay. It might be time to go hire, say, a sports psychologist, which is a profession. They are literally people who help professional athletes. They make a lot of money doing it to kind of break past the inner voices in their heads to just go out and play the freaking game.
Yeah.
Go spend you're a millionaire, Bo. You got that money. You got that money, buddy. Go out there, spend a little bit, get yourself a psychologist or something, but you got to get out of your head. In my opinion, that's what's eating Bo Nix. Where are you at with it, Jay? What do you think the problem with Bo is right now?
Well, I don't know. There's one of those things where, at least in his first, 2 weeks last year, 3 weeks, he seemed to kind of play similar to what we just saw, of him rushing things, not looking comfortable, not looking confident. I think the reason why him and Sean Payton work out really well is because they're over preparers. They have crazy work ethic, and they feel like they need to be ultra prepared for every situation, and put in the side work, put in the extra work to get to a game. And I kind of feel like Bo looks like he hasn't done his homework, and he's scrambling to do it right at the last minute. It doesn't seem natural right now, but I have full confidence that he will catch up, and he'll get back up to things start slowing down, like the old saying in sports of when you're truly comfortable and you have confidence in every movement you have, the game slows down. Well, the game obviously is not slowed down. It's sped up right now. But, he turned it around. He turned it around, obviously, last year after the skittish start. And he already has history of turning it around, going from the craziness of Auburn and going to Oregon and resurrecting his career and, adjusting and progressing. He is a great model of development because he has absolutely been kicked down, but he's gotten back up. And so that's a trait that Sean Payton's got to go goo-goo eyes about, and that's why he drafted him. That's why he's this guy.
Yeah, it's absolute evidence. Excuse me, I'm sorry.
Drew Brees.
It's absolute evidence of someone who has moxie. I know. Go back to the 1930s, Johnny, but it's what he's got.
He's got swag.
Chumbawamba, baby. I get knocked down, but I get up again. I can't. I sang Chumbawamba on purpose. But the point is, he is that person, and we know about his work ethic. We know about his intelligence. We know about his athleticism. I think he just needs to get it all put back together. And again, this is the preseason. This is when rust gets shaken off. This
Absolutely.
is when you go dunk the car bumper into a vat of Coca-Cola and go after it with steel wool to get that rust off. It's happening, guys. I said this to Isaiah. I said this on Isaiah's show on the Monday edition of Orange and Blue Blitz. I said, let us not forget, last season the Chiefs went 0-3 in the preseason with their, now Isaiah, he kind of knocked that down by saying, yeah, but the difference is that, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to mock my best friend here, but the difference is that he said the difference is that the Chiefs are a proven commodity at this point. They're 9 years AFC West champions, and they've gone to the Super Bowl 6 times in the last 10 years. So, they're a proven commodity. The Broncos, on the other hand, all we are right now is a team that showed high potential. Potential.
That's it.
And a coach who opened his big mouth and told the media we're a Super Bowl contender. And so right afterwards, when this all goes down, now the media is roasting us, roasting Bo Nix, roasting Sean Payton, just absolutely on the attack because of Sean Payton's claim early, the week before. And I still believe it. I still believe we're Super Bowl contenders. And I would love to point out, so did USA Today. Did you see that, Jay?
Yeah. Dude, we've been the sexy pick. We've been the sexy pick. People are ooey gooey over us. I know, obviously, it was a topic of discussion today with Kay Adams on all of her interviews. She interviewed Bo Nix and Sutton together. She interviewed PS2, obviously Sean Payton. And I think each one of them individually had to answer some sort of version of, so you're a Super Bowl team, huh? Out of Kay Adams. Like, we did ourselves no favors when we introduced that narrative to them. That's not something that was organically, materialized from some media personality. Sean Payton had a reason for doing that. I don't know why. And Kay Adams, he does. Kay Adams called him out on it, though, today. She said, basically, at this time last year, we were sitting in these two same seats. We had the same two coffees, and you were trying to, be shy about your team and didn't want to put all your cards on the table. And, you wanted everything to be under the radar. And this year is the complete opposite. Why is that? And, he just gave a, typical Sean nonchalant answer that really didn't answer anything.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
But I don't know why he would do it. Is it like a psychological challenge to Bo of hey, I know you're great from an underdog standpoint, but I want to see expectation on you?
Not necessarily. I don't think that that's it. I think what he did was to get his players to buy in.
They're young.
Buy in fully. Yes, they're young, but they have but the amount of talent. I mean, just the depth alone. I want to point out Saturday's game, we won it 30-9. They scored one time. Technically, they got those extra 2 points off of Bo's errant throw, but otherwise, they scored one time in the first quarter, and then we did not let them score again for 3 full quarters. We went on to win 30-9. That in anyone's book, I don't care if it's preseason, it doesn't matter. That is a blowout. Okay, that's a blowout. Our second, now granted, yes, our first teamers, not just Bo Nix, our first teamers all seem to have some struggle, and Isaiah and I were talking about that, and I think that what it came down to was that they underestimated. They made the cardinal mistake of underestimating their opponent, walking out there thinking, "Oh, we're going up against the twos because none of their starters are playing," and then they got walked on.
Yeah,
because there's still NFL players out there, regardless of what part, what tier they're sitting on, but I mean, even after all of that, they still are our backups. The depth is insane on this team, Jay, because for the rest of the game, once our backups went in, it was backups versus backups. The rest of the game,
we're good.
Our backups smoked them.
And we, at least in the time frame of era fandom that I have, I remember times of being super thin everywhere and hoping and praying that there wasn't an injury because in the preseason we would be on the other end of that and just get demolished because we were terrible drafters. We had the Carlos Hendersons, we had
God, why did you have to say that name?
Chigo, hey, you come had a cup of coffee for training camp on your rookie year and we never saw you again. Terrible stuff. So man, that is encouraging. And honestly, I was surprised after the fact to catch up on X and everybody's reaction to what we saw out of the ones. It felt like people overreacted. I'm only going to react in that manner if that happens versus Tennessee week 1, honestly, because that's when things need to be buttoned up, and that's an inferior opponent. That is a preseason game.
So for Tennessee, week 1, obviously I live near Nashville, so the Tennessee Titans are king here, and it's only it's basically the same distance from my parents' house in Longmont, Colorado, to Mile High as I am right here to Nissan Stadium for the Titans. So I'm surrounded by Titans fans here, and my next door neighbor, a good friend of mine, his name is Drew, love him to death, good dude. One of his kids is my youngest Sage, and they are they went to school together, preschool together for a while. They're very close. he is the son of the way we were with our grandfather Jay with his season tickets. Drew is his father, who had season tickets once from the moment that the Titans came to Nashville, when they ceased to be the Oilers and became the Tennessee Titans. He had season tickets until this last year. He only gave them up because with the new stadium and all this stuff, the cost of season tickets skyrocketed so high that he couldn't afford them anymore.
That's what new stadiums do, man.
Drew is going to be at my house watching that game with me, and I swear, if Cam Ward walks out there against the Broncos' first-team defense and goes off, I might bury my head in the sand and never come back out.
Yeah,
now, do I think that's going to happen? This defense, not a chance. But still. But I digress. Back to Bo for just a moment. Bo is going to be fine.
Yeah.
Again, we have seen that the proof is in the pudding. The proof is in the pudding. We have seen it throughout his collegiate career, his professional career.
He's resilient.
He started the first 4 weeks without a single passing touchdown. Went on to throw 29, which was the second all-time for any rookie quarterback ever in the NFL. Second only to, who was it? Was it Justin Herbert, his rookie year?
I believe so. Oregon.
Yeah, so that being said, we've seen a guy who has had his struggles in the past. He always comes back. He always picks himself up. I believe in Bo. I believe still. I'm not worried. Now, is there concern that things need to, like you said, the one big concern would be getting destroyed by the Tennessee Titans week 1.
Yeah.
And in the first few games of the season, because when we've done our record prediction, Jay, these first 5 weeks, a lot of it's instrumental to in my opinion, to a winning record, because it's one of the lighter parts of our it's one of the lighter areas of our schedule.
That was actually something Sean Payton mentioned today, was that the key to success for the season was an early start to the year because of the schedule setup. He sees that. That's kind of one of those things where you cannot come out of the gate and lose these winnable games, because how is a loss to Tennessee week 1 going to look when we're fighting for a wild card spot in the middle of the winter at the end of December? We're going to look back on that and what the hell, guy? That was one of 3 wins Tennessee will get this year. Tennessee's going to be awful. So there's just no excuse.
What? Awful? No.
No, okay.
No, listen, I'm going to say this. Living here in Nashville, or near Nashville, everywhere I go, Cam Ward is the second coming of Jesus Christ.
They got no weapons.
I'm so serious. Everywhere I go, they see my Broncos stuff. They see my Broncos hat or my shirt or my cane, my Broncos cane, because I'm just that guy with, I'm handicapped, so I walk with a cane. Don't judge me. But they'll see that and they'll be like, "Oh, we won, man. It's gonna be crazy." And they start talking Cam Ward, and they're like, "Man, I don't know. Ward's looking super good in camp. The Broncos better watch out." And I'm like, "He's not the second coming of Jesus, man. He's the answer to the Mayo King Will Levis, and that's it right now."
He's gonna get knocked around something fierce. So bad. He's the classic. Oh man, your team picked number 1 overall. It's cool to be number 1 overall, sure, but usually that means you go to obviously the worst team in the league, the worst situation possible for him. So,
yep,
not good.
You make big money. You make big money, but hope that money's worth it, because you're gonna get your ass handed to you.
Yep.
But anyway. I digress once again. Bo is going to be fine.
Yeah, things will work out for him, and for God's sakes, Stiddy is a system quarterback. That's why he's the backup still. He is supposed to be dominant right now. This is his time of year.
If I see one more effing post on X of, maybe, from what I'm hearing out of camp and from what we saw on Saturday, maybe Stidham should have been the quarterback all along, or maybe we should swap him out. I'm like, are you out of your damn mind?
Did you see ESPN predict in 2027 Bo would be benched? Bo would be benched. That would be it.
That's a very moronic. That's a moronic take.
Very.
To me, that is literally and completely indicative of people who don't actually watch the games. They just look at the stats and go, "Oh, I'm going to write an article based on the stat lines." They don't watch the game. They don't pay attention to the film. None of it. Those guys are, those kind of people, morons.
It's true. I mean, you're not wrong.
Man. You heard me say it here, and if I get like some kind of like gag order from ESPN after this, so be it. The person who wrote that article predicting Bo Nix's benching by 2027 and that Stidham is the starter and blankety blank, moron.
I think
and total moron.
I did see a couple of people on Twitter screenshotting pictures of them adding Stidham in dynasty leagues. Like, you sons of bitches.
That's another foolish mistake.
Rooting for the downfall of Bo.
You better stop.
That's what stock you're buying.
What's that very first special by Gabriel Iglesias? His first comedy special, like his big one. You better stop that. Like that's it right there. Like, look,
pretty much.
Stidham is, to me, you can have a different take, Jay, obviously, but to me, Jarrett Stidham is Bubby Brister. He is Bubby Brister. He is a solid backup quarterback who can come in and lead you to wins if your starter goes down. But he is not the starter. Like,
I mean,
it's just like Brock Osweiler.
Well,
another great example. Peyton Manning goes down, he leads us to wins. But when Peyton's
the best example of that in our franchise history is none other than Gary Kubiak. That Gary Kubiak was basically a coach that just hung around. He was the DeAndre Jordan of the end of the bench.
The obligatory Nuggets reference.
Thank you. Check, please.
By the way, as soon as I get paid, I'm going to get you Nikola Jokic lunchbox off to you, cuz, for your.
Oh, thank you.
I got one. I got mine right here. You guys can see it. I picked one of these up. Look at Walmart. See if you can find one, because that's where I found it. There, I bought two. One for me, one for Jay. They've got some Prism, some Panini Prism basketball cards in them. From over the last few years, a couple from this year, a few from the last 5 years. But inside, it's got Joker on the front, and they've got other players too. They've got Steph Curry, and they've got LeBron James, and a few others in there. But each one inside is a square. It's about yay big, hardwood, from the 2024 All-Star Game floor with a certificate of authenticity. And it cost like 40-something bucks. It was pretty cool. So I got one for me and one for Jay. And I've got yours. It's actually sitting right here because it's on its way to you. And I can afford to put it in the mail.
It's nice to have championship teams to talk about. And, we're talking about Super Bowls over the Broncos. Whether that's a realistic expectation or not, it is at least being spoke about.
I don't know if I'm saying that we're winning the Super Bowl, but I believe we can contend.
It's a discussion point. It's like something that somebody can float, but
hey, before Sean Payton said it, I said it earlier this offseason. I don't know if you recall that.
It's not the same as saying, "Oh, the Nuggets are going to win the championship," or the Avalanche are going to win the cup. Like. Yeah. It is different. We're not at that base yet.
No, we're not there yet. But I did say earlier this offseason, after I think it was right after we drafted Jahdae Barron, and we'd gotten Greenlaw, Hufanga, and then I said this is now a Super Bowl contending team.
Yeah.
And Sean Payton went and said it, and I said, told you. Anyway.
Too many lattes from Sean Payton. Yeah. Too many lattes.
So. Johnny was right. That's what I want to hear. That's what I want to hear, Jay. Super Bowl Sunday, Broncos hoist the trophy, and Sean Payton or Greg Penner step up to the mic and go, Johnny Bakke was right.
That seems like a question you could get Cecil Lammey to ask, I bet. he knows how to just throw just what WTFs at him. He expects it.
I really want to try to get Cease. I really want to try to get Cease on the show.
I love people that zig when everyone else is zagging, and he is absolutely a off the beaten path. No one likes Cecil Lamb. No one.
But it is kind of. No, you know what? I like Cecil. I do. I think sometimes his takes are a little out there.
Well, of course.
But sometimes I will say this: he's right about as much as he is wrong. There are certain people out there like Nick Wright and and from our own Broncos media, James Marilat, who are wrong all the time. They're just wrong. Cecil, at least, he has a bunch of wrong takes, but he also has a bunch of really right takes. He's right about as often as he is wrong. He's batting 500 most of the time. So
I will love forever the Gronk is training in the mountains of Colorado Springs for an NFL comeback to the Broncos breaking story. Just fantastic. I like terrific.
I'm out.
It should have a subtitle for entertainment purposes only.
Yeah. Like it's like that page on Facebook, NFL memes. It's like NFL memes live.
Sources per me.
By the way, we really got to get onto our, using our soundboard again more, man. Like it's our soundboard, and the Broncos bros are making us look foolish.
Well,
they're used.
They got those creative juices flowing. Good for the bros.
I'm just saying, it's our soundboard, and they're making us look like the rookies. All right, I'm just. Hit in the comments again. It's been a minute since we've hit them, and we need to make sure we show the love to our fan base, because what would this show be without you guys? So, Victory Lap back in saying pressure makes diamonds. I would agree. However, you have to have the right ingredients under pressure to make diamonds.
And you need to know when to alleviate pressure. Pressure's good, but only for so long, maybe.
Yep. Now, that is not me saying that the Broncos don't have the ingredients, because boy, do they. It's just a matter of is the right pressure being applied. You got to look at it. Victory Lap also comes in and says, Bo, RELAX, relax. Jay, you said it earlier. The game slows down once you get comfortable, right?
Yep.
The military, and I'm sure you've heard this in other facets too, but it never rang true more. This phrase that we constantly used in the military, which was slow is smooth, smooth is fast. When we get out there in trainings where we were, doing movement drills, firing drills, things like that, you'd see like these young soldiers that were like, just running as fast as they could, doing things. They'd trip and fall, or they'd screw up. But then you'd get the one that was just like, okay, I'm focused, I'm in on it. And they'd go, and they would finish the course faster than anybody else or anything. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. Relax.
Nope.
Take a breath. Say, I know who I am. I know what I'm capable of. You can do this. And go.
I mean, it's understandable with, the crazy eyes Bo Nix that he could probably be high-strung at times. Much like, Nathan McKinnon, very high-strung individual that, teammates need to go up to sometimes and say, take a deep breath. It's all good, dude.
Calm down, bro. Calm down.
Yeah.
We got another new name in the chat coming in from Facebook. Michael Aragon saying, hi. What's up, Michael? How are you? And welcome to the Orange and Blue crew. Cheers. Michael's watching us right now on Facebook, as is MNM Santa Steven. Santa Steven?
Nice to see you.
Yep, says Broncos are awesome. Yes, welcome. I'm going to call you Santi. All right? Welcome to the Orange and Blue crew, Santi, and thank you for joining us. If you are someone who is watching over on Facebook right now, take a second. It'll only take a second, and jump on over to YouTube. Look, search Orange and Blue Network. There's also the link on Facebook. If you're watching this on one of our live shows on Facebook, click it, go to YouTube, and subscribe. Because when we reach 539 subscribers, we're giving away a Bo Nix jersey, authentic orange Bo Nix jersey, and you want to be in that drawing. So do it. Plus, of course, we've got all the awesome content that's going to keep that goes all year long, and you don't want to be you want to be able to keep up with that.
Got to turn those noties on. Turn those noties on.
Yeah, ding. Hit
Yep.
that. That's right. I'm going to do it, Jay. You got it. You got to ding.
When you have a ding, you might as well ding. I mean, why have a ding if you're not gonna ding? Ding it up.
Maybe it's not on this one. I need to move
Oh,
the other
a
sound.
delayed ding.
Yeah,
IOU ding.
Ding. Yeah, I owe you. That's an IOU, sir.
That's better than a car.
That's
Fantastic.
money, sir. Those are IOUs. They're worth their weight in money. How can we not make it through a single episode without referencing Dumb and Dumber in some way? Oh, wait, because
True.
you and I watched that movie until the tape fell apart when we were kids.
Quick question, really off topic, but I'm just going to ask you just point blank. Reaction to Happy Gilmore 2?
Oh.
Just, you don't need to go, 20 miles because it doesn't deserve 20 miles in my opinion, but
No.
it was kind of a letdown, but still made me happy.
You know what? I am going to go, maybe not 20 miles, I'm going to go 10
Okay.
on it, and here's how I'm going to do it. I'm literally going to compare it to another Adam Sandler franchise.
Oh, dear.
Grown Ups. Okay?
Uh,
The original Happy Gilmore was phenomenal. It was
You beat it.
engaging for comedy. It stood on its own. It was fantastic. Grown Ups, the first one, the first Grown Ups movie with Adam Sandler, Chris Rock, Kevin Spacey, not Kevin Spacey. Wow, David Spade. I mean,
Definitely not Kevin Spacey.
Rob Schneider and Kevin James was. I loved the first Grown Ups. It was fantastic. Then they came out with Grown Ups 2. And I was super excited for them to build off of the success of the first movie. But when I watched it, it was a totally different style. They went way out there with some of the physical comedy. Like in the first one, watching Kevin James swing off a rock and hit a tree. That was funny. But then when you get to the second one and you watch Shaquille O'Neal plow a dude out, and fling him up on top of the house, I'm like, now we're reaching the levels of ridiculous, and it's not as funny to me. It's funny if I wasn't, if the series had always been that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's how Happy Gilmore 2 was to me to Happy Gilmore 1. Happy Gilmore 1 had plenty of ridiculousness, but it wasn't outrageous.
Sure.
Maybe outrageous is not the right word, because outrageous is exactly what Happy Gilmore 1 was.
Predictable outrageous.
But then you get in this one, and suddenly you got Eminem getting eaten by alligators. While funny, it was unnecessary. The fist fight between him and Shooter McGavin in the cemetery, while funny, little ridiculous, and like coming up by all the different tombstones of everybody. I'm like, too much. You're trying too hard. They tried too hard with the second one, and that maxi golf thing. Good lord.
Well, it's Live Golf. I get why they were. Haley Joel Osment was wild to me to see him. I couldn't believe that he would be.
If you've watched Amazon Prime's The Boys, about the superheroes, the guys who take down superheroes. Oh, okay. Well, you should. It's raunchy, like just so much cursing, so much like blood and gore and all this stuff. Basically, the premise of The Boys is what if superheroes were actually like a corporation that's saving the world. But what would these people, like these dudes are getting up to like Diddy stuff, like Diddy level stuff, because they are superpowered and no one can stop them. And then you get these dudes that are just regular dudes who take it upon themselves illegally, albeit, to take, as the main character, one of the main characters says, like, spank them a bit, give them a spanking. And Haley Joel Osment was actually in it, and that was the first time I had seen Fat Him ever. And I was like, oh my God, that's the kid who sees dead people. That's little Forrest Gump. That's little Forrest Gump Jr. right there, and he's fat now and he's short, and it was weird. It was really weird. He ends up being crushed on the show. It's awesome.
Again, whoever the lucky person out there that had this on their bingo card as a transitional topic for tonight, fantastic. I mean, that's why every once in a while you got to go squirrel with a, What about Happy Madison?
This is who we are. Where we will talk Broncos, but we are also just a couple of dudes, couple of cousins who also happen to be best friends in life, just talking about everything and anything and everything together as well.
Well, and dude, that's kind of what the whole premise is supposed to be. Like, I feel like there's so many people that take themselves way too serious. Like, we're just sitting around, like, in our respective homes talking about sports, man. Like, at least that's how we approach it.
What have I always said about this network? The goal of this network is for every one of our shows to feel like a tailgate with your friends.
Yeah.
Like, if you were to run into me and Jay at a Broncos game, and there's a good chance you probably will someday, to those watching, that you feel like you've known us, not just the side of us, not just the side of us that actually knows football and is knows statistics and can discuss football, but you could be like, Johnny, oh my God, it's so good to see you. How's your kids doing? How is your family? How was that trip you took to Timbuktu or whatever? I want you guys to know us on almost a personal level. That's our goal for this show. And so I will digress again. Happy Gilmore 2 was fun to watch because of some of the homage it paid to the original.
Sure.
Some of the new humor, like Happy having a flask of liquor hidden as a million different items in the movie. That was fun. I loved that. But as far as the movie itself goes, I watched the original Happy Gilmore over and over and over again. Happy Gilmore 2 is a one-timer.
Yep. Now, I will turn a side eye if we're going down the path of having another Billy Madison. I don't know if I'll stand for that. I'll put my foot down. That's the line we cross here. I just hope Adam Sandler doesn't ruin that franchise for me. Just don't ruin him, that character. Because if you haven't watched that in a while, that has aged like sweet wine as well.
I am the smartest man alive!
Absolutely gold.
There you go, buddy. There's your soundbite from Billy Madison.
Fantastic.
Anyway, getting back to the Broncos for just a second. We're going to get ready to roll out of here, guys. But the Broncos are going to be fine. Bo Nix is going to be fine. And I don't know. I feel like it's not time yet to overreact.
No, it's not time to overreact as well. Like, there's no position, Ben Powers was really rough. Like, he did not put some good tape on. There were some definite, holes and whatnot going around. But, again, shouldn't overreact to their performance either. Everyone's rusty. Sean, demands a lot out of the offense because it's such a complex system and so many levels to understand that, I don't blame them for being, a lot of cobwebs, not picking up a playbook in the offseason.
There's parts of the system that have been changed now, like the outside zone. That's not something they were running at all last year. So
Very true.
So, there's that. Hit in the comments real quick again before we get out of here. D-Rock saying, I ain't worried about nothing. That's right, D-Rock. That's the way to be.
As you shouldn't be.
Gary Neighbors, like a good neighbors. Gary is there.
What's up, Gary?
Broncos Country, offense number 1, defense number 1. Don't ask me why the number symbol has been not coming up for us. I know that it's there. It's just not showing up on the comment, and that's stupid. Our former host of the Nothing Rhymes Going to the podcast, his face right there, Isaiah Henderson, my co-founder of the Orange and Blue Network, says, hi, guys. He says, nice jersey, Jay. That's the Broncos gentleman, my best buddy. And, he's also the host of the Orange and Blue Blitz Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays during daytime, 11 a.m. Mountain Time. So make sure you check him out there. We got another one here, another one on Facebook, E.B. Hernandez, saying, let's go, Super Bowl bound this year with an orange and blue heart. Love it, E.B. And
EB.
welcome to the Orange and Blue crew.
A lot of new names in tonight.
Every time I see someone comment from somewhere other than YouTube, if you're watching on Facebook, take just a second, and this goes for anyone who hasn't done so already. Take just a second out of your day, go and subscribe on YouTube. All right? We are on the march to 539 subscribers, which was Peyton Manning's all-time passing touchdown record. When we reach the 539, someone in our subscriber pool is getting an authentic orange and blue, an authentic orange Bo Nix jersey.
You can do it!
It takes you 1 second to subscribe, and you have the chance to win something real. So do it.
You might as well. It'd be weird not to.
It'd be weird not to. That's great. And Isaiah wants you to know, nice jersey, Jay.
Appreciate that, Isaiah. Just came in the mail today. Fresh out of the package.
Isaiah's all about the white. He loves the white.
I love the white, but man, this is gonna get stains on it, and it's gonna look horrible. So, you might as well buy a new white jersey once a year.
I get so hyped at games, and I'm always drinking beer and eating
barbecue wings.
That's why
just
I do not.
It's gonna be crap all over it.
I have never. I think I've owned one white jersey in my life, and it was when I was 8 years old. Jay, you'll remember it. It was an Elway jersey. It was the only one I've ever owned, and I will not buy the away jersey for that simple reason. Because unlike the team who gets to toss those jerseys in a hamper that then go, to be cut up and put in trading cards, the investment in a jersey, I want to be able to have, wear that over and over and over again. So
true.
I my white. But Isaiah,
not wrong.
That's great. Last one I want to throw out there. Here we go. Another one from our buddy Shy Vargas says, do we think the starters will play more on Saturday? Absolutely. So if you to kind of run down the preseason, the way that the preseason lays out, Shy, week 1 of the preseason is the quintessential knock the cobwebs free game.
Yep.
Get everybody on the field for at least a few snaps. Let them feel real football again for just a little bit. Week 2, it used to be 4. There used to be 4 games in the preseason. Now we're cut down to 3. Week 2 is now what they consider the dress rehearsal game for the regular season. So in game 2 of the preseason, you're going to see the starters out there for, if not the entire first quarter, sometimes the entire first half of the second game of the preseason, getting them ready for the season, because game 3 of the preseason, just I want to save my job game, where the starters might see 2 snaps or maybe a series, then they will sit, and then the rest of the game is just a bunch of dudes who don't want to be selling insurance next week saying, Coach, look what I can do. Do you have any thoughts on that, Jay?
Yeah, typically now, in the next game that we're going to see, it's also predicated on kind of what the vibes have been. Our offense has been kind of a miss. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see success on the first couple drives of the game, that they're out there maybe for an extra drive to maybe get a quick drive against the Cardinals' 2s. If they're playing their 1s to that certain point. We won't maybe necessarily switch out exactly for what the Cardinals are doing. We need to see a nice rehearsal out of our 1s. So if that takes an extra drive, you could see it into the first half. Definitely not in the third, fourth, no matter what.
After halftime, it will be second and third string leading the charge for the rest of the game. But you will see at least the entire first quarter and probably at least half of the second quarter, if not the entire second quarter, all the way up to the half of our starters. I do want to give a shout out, not in the comments, but a shout out to a buddy of mine, AJ, who I can't really tell if you can really see my shirt right now, but you got your jersey today, and I got this shirt today from a friend of mine. We are both veterans. I'm Army. He was Air Force, and he is he's an official, like a referee for wheelchair basketball for the wheelchair veterans games. The annual wheelchair veterans game, and this is a shirt from the PVA, the Paralyzed Veterans of America, which is an organization that does amazing things for veterans who are paralyzed and wounded and injured, disabled, allows them to take part in sports, and even though they're handicapped and it's difficult. But it's also a community of veterans who are able to come together, who not only share physical disabilities, but a lot of mental disabilities as a result of the things that we did and saw in our time in service. And he has given me an application to apply to take part in some of these, in this organization as an athlete. He got me this shirt that says "Proud PVA Athlete," and I just want to give a massive shout out to not only him for trying to get me involved with that. I think it'll help me lose some weight, one, and two, it is a community that, is wonderful, but also to that organization itself. Thank you for what you're doing for our veterans. So
absolutely.
Yeah. That being said, Jay, we're at an hour, 11 minutes. I'm trying to start cutting this down down to the hour. We kind of went past again. It's okay. We'll get used to going back to the hour again.
Sure.
And I know I'm saying this on the air, that is from an analytical standpoint as to why we need to do that. So, guys, we're going to go ahead and get ready to roll out of here. But just remember, Bo Nix is going to be fine. The Broncos are going to be fine. Let's get ready, baby, because we got another preseason game, another game day coming up this Saturday in Denver. Denver Broncos versus Arizona Cardinals in Denver. Make sure you're on the lookout for one half of the Broncos bros. George is going to be there, and he's going to have you make sure you stop by and say, "Hey, what up, Broncos, bro?" So it's going to be a good time, and I fully predict the Denver Broncos are going to stomp the Cardinals the same way they did the Niners.
I would think so. It'll be a good game. Obviously, always take the overs. Broncos will cover, all those typical things. So we'll get into it on Saturday, but, excited to see some Broncos football, man. I'm ready.
Your recommendation, I took the over the other day, and I was right. So
it's coming. It's coming.
All right, guys, that's going to do it for us tonight on the Nothing Rhymes with the Orange and Blue podcast. Again, we are the Orange and Blue Network, so if you didn't during the course of the show, or if this is your first time here, please make sure that you go over to YouTube, like, subscribe, share, and comment. All right? Ding that little notification bell so you don't miss any of our awesome content, to include Orange and Blue Blitz on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. It's a daytime show. Broncos Bros Monday night at 7. The Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue podcast. This show on Tuesdays at 6. Broncos Talk on Wednesdays. Viva los Broncos for the Spanish-speaking Broncos fans out there, and there are a lot. So make sure you tune into that because it's fun. We got the Fresh Squeeze, which is a breaking news. We got the Get Buck Game Day Show and the Buck Your Feelings post-game show. And starting tomorrow, I'm going to get this graphic updated. Starting tomorrow in the afternoon will be the premiere, at least on the Orange and Blue Network, the premiere episode of the Mile High Sports Symposium for the very first time ever here on Orange and Blue Network. Guys, we got a lot of great content. You don't want to miss it. Make sure that you also, of course, follow us on X, on Facebook, and check out the audio version of our podcast everywhere that you find your favorites. Jay, any final thoughts before we bounce?
No, man. I'm glad we covered our basis on, Happy Gilmore and covered the 49ers, did a little Cardinal action, but it'll be exciting Saturday to get to, do the pregame, get to do some postgame, and
I will see you there. I will see you there.
Be eating it up. Let's go.
All right, guys, with that, we're going to leave you with a Mile High salute and a Go Broncos. We will see you tomorrow morning for Orange and Blue Blitz. Good night. Broncos Country.
Okay.